That's the first thing that you have. Now, another thing I found to be useful, whether it was my menstrual cycle or not, and I still am kind of not the biggest fan of it. Now I'm looking right at it. I would suggest finding more natural ways to do it, more non-medicine ways to do it. But if you have to, a full or large bottle of ibuprofen. I used to take Midol, Tylenol, ibuprofen, all those other ones that are specifically for the menstrual cramps. Why I have recently, in recent years, gotten off of this, if I have any pain or cramps, is because now I've learned to adapt. What I would do is, you don't want to be getting written up in school for stuff like this. And this is stuff right on the shelf or either found in your foods. If you can't take a lunch to school that contains the following items. So you can, I'm not a medical professional. I want to make sure I put that out there. I started about 2011, 2012. That show you how long ago it's been. And I need to get back to it because it has proven to I mean, my cramps are nearly non-existent when I take this stuff, when I commit to taking it. There are herbs and spices in our foods that contain what is called phytoestrogens to help with alleviate some of that, some of the cramps that you have. Fenugreek is one. This is the one responsible for that maple syrup spice. I have heard all over the internet and found that out myself long before I figured out all the other ladies found out about it, and it's spread like wildfire. You take this long enough, as long as you taking this, you gonna smell like maple syrup. That is true. There are also external ointments and creams that you can make with this, and I can get into that if you all would like me to. Taking this internally, what I would do with this is just focus on items with fenugreek seeds, toast them. Now I'm going to warn you about the fenugreek helping to stop. Hello Brenda, how are you? Hope everything's well. So I'm going to warn you about the fenugreek seed. Although it smells like maple, although it will have you smelling like maple syrup, the taste is an acquired taste. I have taken capsules of this when I first started out years ago and need to get back to it. Now, speaking from experience, it's an acquired taste. So it is bitter, although it smells like and will have you smelling like maple syrup for as long as you take it, start to finish. It's an acquired taste. If you're going to put it in foods, I would put it in more savory foods and add a lot of seasoning. A lot of seasoning, not a lot of salt. So be careful. Wild yam, I would put that in more sweet foods. Make a tea out of it. I've heard people make teas. If you don't want to go with the capsule route, I would focus on fixing your lunches for school, whether you're in middle to high school or college. I would try bulking up on wild yam. The more that you eat it, olives include phytoestrogens. Eating the olives, it's either the green olives or the black olives, help with that, and that can help introduce those phytoestrogen compounds into your reproductive system as a woman and really help alleviate those cramps. You just start introducing more things and take them to lunch with you for school. That's what you do. Olives, I've heard, help with that. They also have other benefits other than alleviating those menstrual cramps during your menstrual cycle. If you want to go the extract route and put that in your drink and fix a smoothie in a thermal container, they have these. And again, not a medical professional, but I'm speaking off of what works from taking the capsules. If the capsules will work fine, from experience, the extracts, they have them greenbush.net. This is not sponsored. Speaking solely from experience. They have wild yam extract, a liquid extract that you can consume, put in your teas, put in your bakery, put in your food. Fenugreek extract. I still have the same food suggestions if you're going to go the extract route from greenbush.net. They have a specific area of women herbs, or it's a specific testimonial section when you go there to greenbush.net, not sponsored. And they're gonna I mean, the women are sharing anonymous testimonies to stuff of what they mix it with and all this, and this stuff is naturally in our foods. Now what I would like to do, if you all would like to see it, I can go over at another time, not now, in further depth as to what foods you need to eat, that in case you don't want to take supplements or anything like that, can help. You can eat stuff that may aid in helping alleviate your menstrual cramps for all your feminine hygiene, because it's very fascinating when I started getting into this stuff and then start trying it for myself and then seeing that it worked. And then I really had to, like, not that I wasn't paying attention before, I really had to pay attention then when I was taking these supplements, wild yam and fenugreek. I really had to pay attention then when I was taking it, because then I could barely tell that my menstrual cycle had come on. I barely had them cramps was like this, like just tapping my hand with my fingernails, barely hurt. A love tap. Just what is a cramp? Like I was able to better manage everything else I had going on, in addition to having my menstrual cycle every month, for as long as I was taking these two things. So I wouldn't suggest carrying these supplements to school. What I suggest is packing a lunch full of those type of foods. If you like olives or willing to try olives, I would do that. I would also look that up on Google. Foods that are full of phytoestrogens, foods that help alleviate cramps. I would not suggest soda and caffeine. Now, if you're a person, you're going to go the route of taking medication, not a medical professional. That's my personal disclaimer. Then I would definitely go that route. You want to make sure you're taking a small bottle of this. Now, if they will allow you to use and mine doesn't work anymore mysteriously, I don't know why, because that's definitely essential. I'll use a heating pad. I got mine from Amazon. Use a heating pad. They'll let you sit close to the wall, wherever your seat is, and use a heating pad. If they won't let you use a heating pad, I'm gonna tell you something else that works. Use and this is stuff I've tried in trial and error. Woo, excuse me. If they're not going to allow you to use a plug outlet to either charge a phone or either use a heating pad, because eventually everybody will be like, oh, can you share me and all that? That's how it is with school. I'll tell you what worked for me. Get yourself a bag of rice. It don't matter if it's brown rice, white rice. This is the OG method I tried, and it works. They should have, wherever you go to school, I'm hoping they have that in the cafeteria, a microwave. At home, you're going to need, I would get hair thread and a needle and thread. Hair, like you sewing in tracks and bundles, that's a stronger thread. Get yourself a sock, white sock, or I would go with a color sock, anything but white, so that way it's easier to clean. Get yourself a sock, pair of socks you don't care nothing about. Take that bag of rice, empty it into the sock, then sew up the very end of the sock that you put your foot in. This is now your heating pad. Sew it up really good so not even a grain of rice can come out of that thing at all. When you get to school, whip that thing out. They're gonna look at you crazy. You're gonna throw some people into something. What is that? You brought a filled sock. What that sock got in it? You can tell them rice. The thing about it is dry rice. Don't cook the rice. Put that thing into a microwave when you get to the cafeteria. This is for when you need it for cramps, if they won't let you carry a heating pad. They won't let you plug in an electric pad. They got all them rules and stuff. I know a lot of the rules is for your safety, so you have to understand it. But if they won't let you have the heating pad, okay, cool. Not a mini one, not one at all, none of those little items. If you can't find a portable one that's rechargeable or battery operated, go to sock and rice method. After you get through sewing that thing up, I don't care if you have to do it 2 to 3 times. Pour the dry rice in there. Don't cook it. Put it in that sock. Sew up the open end that you usually put your foot in. Use a clean pair, brand new pair of socks. That way you don't have to worry. Put that in the microwave for about 2 to 3 minutes. Put that on your side. Put that wherever you got them cramps. Deodorant, don't worry about it. Clinical. I'm good. And put that on your side and let it stay there until all the heat leaves that sock full of dry rice. What's essentially happening when you heat up that rice sock, that becomes your portable heating pad. You heat that up, that rice is going to hold that heat in the same way as if you were cooking it and adding water. You're never going to eat that. You're never going to eat it. I wouldn't suggest it. Don't try that. Please don't. Put that there. As it cools down, it's not going to cook the rice. It's just the rice is there to be, 1, held in the sock, and 2, to hold the heat so you can put it on the areas that you're having your menstrual cramps. By the time that heat leaves it, you should have gotten a couple of hours of, heat compressed relief. Then you don't have to worry about plugging the thing in the wall. Love that method. I don't know why I ever stopped. Now, I mentioned clinical in school right now. If this has helped you, there is a playlist that I will have on either side for all of you to enjoy. I thank each and every one of you for your comments. I thank each and every one of you for watching and rocking with me even at this point within the live stream. I'll have it linked for you below to have a healthy snack. I do sincerely hope that this has helped. If you have, that's all for this session, and I love each and every one of you. See you next time. Love you.